Hello everyone, my name is Shiwei. Welcome to my video presentation. In this video, I'm going to review what I have learned from the EDUC2040 teaching and learning strategy this semester from week 1 to week 10. And each week, I will introduce some funny experiences, my feelings, series or knowledge that I learned, and one takeaway message from this week. So let's start with the week 1. In week 1, do you remember what happened that day? It's so long, right? We had a self-introduction session and we learned the 5 hours. And at the beginning, I felt a sense of anxiety and fear because it was the first lecture of this module in this semester, and I had never seen my new classmates before. I was so nervous at that time. What about you? Do you remember how you felt that day? And following that, we learned the 5 hours, right? We were required to write the blogs based on the 5 hours. However, I used to write reflections by using the DIEP model, and after studying the 5 hours, I made a comparison between these two different models and found that, and here's a reference, these people argue that the 5 hours emphasize understanding what is involved in serious reflections and enhancing the ability to self-assess well. Both these people highlight the significance and the future actions for the DIP model. And the one takeaway message from this week is using the 5 hours to reflect on ourselves. We need to constant reflection. Only in this way can we realize our shortcomings and correct them. In the future, we as teachers, we will teach many lessons, right? Timely reflection and timely correction can better help us to facilitate students' overall development. So let's move on to the week 2. The most impressive experience in week 2 was the micro-teaching practice. We need to create a short micro-teaching session based on the 15th strategy. During the micro-teaching session, the group applied the communication game strategy by using the Pictionary to teach vocabulary. It was really engaging and interesting and impressive for me. I also noticed that the other group utilized such as the videos and the songs to teach this basic vocabulary. These are also good ways to teach students. So let's move on. This experience also made me realize the significance of teachers' mediation in guiding students through cognitive and metacognitive processes. According to Lina, it is suggested that teachers' mediation is needed for students before they can become independent and effective learners. And what's more, we need to utilize the dialogical patterns as a teaching tool to help students' metacognitive and cognitive development. And one takeaway message from this week was, as a future teacher, I'm inspired to incorporate diverse learning strategy like singing and movie clips to engage students and enhance their cognitive and metacognitive development. So let's move on to the week 3. In the week 3, I had a fascinating experience with the jigsaw learning strategy, and also had an exploration of the evidence-based teaching strategy. We learned the top six evidence-based teaching strategy. It includes cooperative learning, interactive teaching, graphic organizer, reciprocal teaching, assessment for learning, and manipulatives. After this, we start the jigsaw. It was quite impressive and interesting for me because at the beginning I was nervous and I didn't know what to do, but under the guidance of Dr. Lina, we formed the 6 new groups, and all of my group mates were very friendly. We had a hot discussion about the assessment for learning. And after this, Dr. Lina asked us one question in the email: what do you think if our class applied the interactive teaching instead of cooperative learning? And then I delved into the research and found that, and this is the process of our jigsaw, and you guys can have a look, right? And reflecting on the jigsaw, I made a comparison between the interactive learning and the cooperative learning, and I summarized the three important aspects, including promoting promoting active learning, immediate feedback, and enhancing critical thinking. What's more, according to the founding of Bowley and Robinson, this suggested that the interactive group compared with the cooperative group exhibited a higher level of satisfaction with the learning actives. So let's move on. There are three aspects of interactive learning, and if you guys are interested in this and wanted to acquire more detailed information, please see my blog week 3. And let's move on to the week 4. In the week 4, the most impressive experience for me was the video editing, because I remember that day I was late for 30 minutes that day because I mistakenly remembered the wrong time of our class. It's so embarrassing for me, but anyway, we learned how to edit videos by using the DaVinci. This was very interesting for me because I used to want to be a game video producer, so I enjoyed learning this, and it was really helpful to my future development. And after that, we learned the digital literacy and deep comp EDU. The digital literacy involves acquiring the knowledge and skills to effectively navigate information and communication technologies. Especially in today's tech-driven world, it is crucial for positive learning outcomes and adapting to the rapid evolving technologies. The DIG Comp EDU is a framework that guides the development of digital competence in education. It emphasizes empowering learners through accessibility, differentiation, personalization, and engaging learning experiences, align with the effective teaching practice for the digital age. And one takeaway message from this week was we need to make full use of the technology to equip our students, to let them have the digital literacy and equip them to have the ability to compete with others in this changing world, right? So let's move on to the week 5. In week 5, Dr. Lee was invited to our class. I was so happy because I learned a lot from his speech, and we learned the COPS learning circle and the Sayamoto lesson plan. COPS learning circle is the model that describes the experimental learning process, and it contains 4 stages: content, experience, reflective observation, abstract conceptualization, and active experimentation. It emphasizes the importance of engaging in hands-on experiences and reflecting on them, developing conceptual understanding and applying newfound knowledge, which is what we did in our blogs, right? And the SCIA model is a framework designed to enhance language and content instruction for English language learners. And one takeaway message from this week was, we as future teachers, we should clearly understand this teaching series and make full use of this teaching series to arouse students and facilitate students' overall development. For example, I will ask some open questions to arouse students' interest and lead students to think critically, like what we learned from Dr. Tu's class, right? Local to global. So let's move on to the week 7. In week 7, I was delighted because I learned the storytelling. I was also shocked by Dr. Lina's personal experiences, and I realized the importance of storytelling after that. So the digital storytelling is a multimedia approach to narrating and sharing stories by using the digital toys such as images, audio, videos, and text. It combines various elements to create a compelling and interactive narrative, allowing storytellers to convey messages in a visually engaging and powerful way. And according to Robin and McNeil, digital storytelling is frequently employed in the realm of education because of its efficiency as a potential tool for both educators and students. So one takeaway message from that was we need to make full use of the digital storytelling to help our students to equip them with the ability. Right, so let's move on to the week 7. In week 7, we learned how to create learning objectives based on the SMART model and Bloom's taxonomy. That was really interesting and helpful for me. And because after this, I had no difficulties in creating good objectives anymore. So we learned the SMART and questioning circle in that week. The SMART is it stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. It was a framework used to setting effective and well-defined goals. The questioning circle is a teaching strategy that involves using a circle approach to questioning, engaging students to ask questions, seek answers, and engage in a continuous circle of inquiry. And the one takeaway message from this week was questioning is one of the most powerful teaching tools, and we need to make full use of it when teaching in the future to help our students to cultivate our students to be more critical, moral, and advanced with competence to compete in the changing world. So let's move on to the week 9. It was really a busy week, but we successfully completed our micro teaching. In the week 9, the biggest thing is the micro teaching. I was so delighted that everyone in our group tried their best for our micro teaching. I was so also proud of our group members because of their efforts. We practiced a lot and changed a lot. And after the rehearsal with Dr. Lina, we also made a lot of efforts to make it perfect. So I also want to say thank to all of my group members. And this is a picture of our group micro teaching. So let's move on to, and in this week, we just reviewed the series and the knowledges that we learned from this module, such as questioning circle, 15 strategy, 6 top evidence-based teaching strategy, Bloom's taxonomy, corpus learning circle, multimedia, dialogical pattern, teachers motivation, and applied them in our micro teaching. If you are interested in the series and the knowledges that we applied in our micro teaching, please see my blog week 9 to get more detailed information. And after that, you will gain a new perspective of our micro teaching, right? So, and from this micro teaching, one takeaway message is I need to make full use of teaching strategy and the learning strategy to optimize students' learning as well as development. I, as a pre-service teacher, should not only have a good command of this series, but also appropriately apply them in the teaching, especially for incorporating different teaching strategy to make a good lesson plan. And I will continue to learn more strategy and practice more in the future. So let's move on to, in the week 10, we had a guest speaker, and I learned the importance of using music as a powerful teaching tool. I also learned how to connect music with teaching and learning strategy. We had a lot of activities. It was really interesting and fun for me and impressive for me. and I also gained a new perspective of the music. I delved into the research and found the meaningful benefits of music as a teaching tool. For example, cognitive development, academic achievement, regulating mood, and reducing stress. One takeaway message from this week is I will incorporate music in the future teaching to enhance our students' overall development. And this is our group photo of the lecture. Oh, this photo is so cute, right? So let's move on. And this is the end of our learning journey. I just felt it started yesterday, but it was over today. I wanted to use one quote from the last lecture to conclude the learning journey. Farewell is like the end, but in my heart is a memory, and there you will always be there. And this is the last group photo of our this module in this semester. Everyone is so happy. So let's move on. And this is a short video I made by myself, and it is so funny. So let's play the video. 会不会有一天，时间真的能倒退？再见我的爱 I wanna say goodbye 再见我的过去 I want a new life 再见我的眼泪得到和失败再见那个年少轻狂的时代会不会 this presentation, and if you guys are interested, please have a look. And this is the end of our presentation. Thank you so much.